Hey guys, Thetcglover here, cut a video today. Right, so if you haven't seen the first rendition of my Mermails, then definitely go check out the video. I'll put a link on the top left corner. Should be up here somewhere around there. Just click that and have a look at the first draft. Now, I think I might have mentioned it in the last video that I was going to keep improving this deck. I took Mermails to regionals recently and I didn't do as great as I thought I would. I think it's just because my build wasn't polished enough. I haven't done enough play testing. A lot of the time you get you can make false assumptions based on what you do on DevPro. Like, I assumed I was a lot better than I thought I was. I know that regionals are very good events and I think I just didn't play as well as I thought I did. Some people just scrub out, it happens, but I'm not mad about it. But yeah, so I've updated my Mermails, so it's kind of optimized for this format a little bit better now. I'm not sure if I prefer it or whatever, but still a card missing or two, but it's still pretty good. You know, I just want it to evolve around creature swap because I know that if you can play your deck well, then that's great, but if you can beat your opponent and control the game, then it's generally going to give you more wins overall. I will not talk about every card that I choose because a lot of the deck is the same, but there's a few different changes that I made that I will talk about when I get to them. So anyway, first thing is free Megalo. I was playing 2 before, but 3 is better now because I kept drawing hands full of infantries, marksmen's, guns, and other cards as well that I want to have discarded. So Megalo is really great and it always baits out cards. You know, there's lots of back rows so you can bait out everything. Really great. So Megalo at 3. I was saying that it was too cloggy, but I realized that it's not really, because you can always discard anything. You know, even at the worst point you can still use it to get stuff. 3 Tears, it's always been 3 Tears. Lead, Tidal, and that's the end of the ranks of the level 7s. 3 Lins, you always play 3 Lins, same thing. 3 Pike and a Turge, same as before. And I dropped Aqua Spirit down to 1, simply because one thing that I realized that I loved about this format when it came to Mermails was that you could go Abyss Pike, send a Tidal to the graveyard, search for a Gund or whatever you want, and then you special summon Aqua Spirit, banishing Tidal searches. But now that Tidal's at 1, that play is not as great, and Aqua Spirit just isn't as effective as it used to be. I think it's much better in the Abyss Sokia builds where you summon Mechwhip Engineer, but that whole play was a lot better when dragons were around because they were more susceptible to losing to that combo. Decks now don't really need to worry about it too much because they have things like Tiger King, which negates everything. 3 infantry and 3 marksmen, 3 Gund, a Dragoons, and a Deep Sea Diva, same thing as before, and a Fishborg Archer. Now I was suggested to play this card, and it does open up a lot of different plays. I read the card before and I realized like it actually has a lot more versatility than I give it credit for. You can discard Gund to summon it, and then Gund special summons the other card. You make Black Rose Dragon, you blow out the field. A lot of things like Fire Fist, which are now becoming very popular. This card hits Fire Fist hard because it hits everything. Exciton Knight is great, but this card is a 1 card special summon. You ditch Gund, it's 1 card in your hand to summon the other thing. You make Black Rose, it's a 1 card Black Rose. This card is easy to get into the graveyard, it's easy to search. It's really good card. I really love it, and also I play Duloran, so has that. Dark Hole, Salvage. The 2 creature swaps that I was talking about before, really fantastic card, swaps things. Just, you know, really good this format, doesn't target. And 2 MST. The other MST is on my side just like it was before. And for my traps, I play 3 Abyss Sphere, compulsory, torrential, bottomless. And I said about bottomless saying it's better than warning in some levels, but you still get Forbidden Lance. It depends on how many Bujin players favor Forbidden Lance and how many Fire Fist players play Tenkin. Is it Tenkin or Tensen? The one that lets you negate its card effects. It's unaffected by card effects, but you negate the effect of the monster. And now for the extra deck. It's only slightly different than it was before, but I feel like the deck overall is a lot better. Black Rose Dragon, Armades. Remember, Armades is fantastic. You realize its potential over Catasta when you start attacking and they can't drop Crane. And when you're playing the mirror match and when you're doing anything really, it's just really fantastic. Armium, I'm not really sure about this card. I mean, like, it's good, it's just I never go into it. I have other cards that I would rather go into, but it is great for getting over something. It's just that Deep Sea Diva doesn't come around very often. Generally you want to go into Armades instead. Right, so I play 1 Duloran, and I didn't have Duloran in my last build, simply because I said I wanted to test it. But now that I play Fishborg Archer, this card is easy to go into all the time. This is fantastic. The format isn't as OTK orientated as it used to be. You generally would only lose to like gears, but you can side into that. Delorean allows you to, you basically make stupid plays like summoning a Bisteus with no other cards to use with it, and you can make Delorean with other cards, and then you just bounce the Bisteus back, so you can improve your hand and basically put your hand back up to like 6 cards without you really having to do much. You go like a Bisphere, summon, make Delorean with some other cards, and then you just bounce the 2 cards back to your hand, so you literally plus just off its effect, and then when you do add cards back, it becomes a really big monster for that turn. You can just do it really, like if you need to get over something like a Crimson Blader, don't waste resources like Dracoset trying to do it, just make this instead, and you get to add cards to your hand, makes it big, you get to run over stuff. Simple as that. Just, it's really good, and you don't really realize how good it is until you start using it. And anyway, for my ranks, rank 4s, 1 Lavar Chain. You kind of use it to, you can top into Diva with it, but I guess you generally want to send Tidal. Bahamut Shark, we have 3 targets for it, but I'll go over those in a minute. Gagaga Cowboy, Diamond Direwolf, Abyss Dweller for the mirror match. It's so good. I get beaten by Abyss Dweller constantly. You generally want to have hold of it because even stuff like Fire Kings suffer from it. And now for the targets for the Bahamut Shark. I'll toss those aside, and we'll talk about Bahamut Shark. Allows you to do a lot of really cool stuff. So we have a Abyss Trait, a Acid Golem, and Armor Kappa. Armor Kappa is great because you can still use its second effect even if it's summoned by Bahamut Shark. And Abyss Trait is great because it's a 2800 wall, and when it dies you get to bring something back. And Acid Golem is great because you can go into it by normal means, but if you summon it with Bahamut Shark you can creature swap it, and then it basically seals the game for you against stuff like Gears, which did really well in the regional recently. And they're really good contenders for the next format. Anyway, rank 7s, we're going to have Master Blades. This can be a Big Eye, but I'm waiting for Big Eye to come out in the next Battle Pack thing that's going to come reprinted. So I'll wait for it until then. But until now, Master Blades does a great job because it puts stuff like Fire Fist a bit of an issue. Boojins have to use Crane to get over it. You know, if you can make it without much of hassle, then you might as well because it's quite good. And also you can use it with stuff like Compulsory. You can negate your own Compulsory and use its non-targeting effect to destroy something in Resolution, so they can't stop it. And Base Gaius, some people play 2. Don't play 2, especially if you're playing a Dragon format, then I suppose, but in the format coming up, play 1. It's just not really ideal. Dracossack. Because Dracossack is Dracossack. And there you go. My side deck isn't as great. It's still in the process, but I know it's going to involve Lion Prisoning Mirrors, Debunk, so that's basically Boojin Hate. Prideful Roars, I might take these out, but they're good against Evil Swarm, which is still around, because if Mermails do any good, if Gears do any good, Prideful Roar will still be a good card because of Evil Swarms. Imperial Iron War, I still keep these in here because of I guess possibly Hoot Cake might be a bit of an annoyance once Angeli comes out, but that's not important for this format. Generally use it against Boojins, and as you can see here, there's not really enough I have against Fire Fist, but I'll have to think of something. MST, the last MST, 3 Maxi against Gears, 6 Samurais, those different stuff. Vela, and I have 2 slots here, and this is where you come in. I would love it if you could comment down below and give me suggestions as to what the last 2 cards could be. I was thinking probably another Vela, because generally Velas go best in 2s. You know, you can stop Fire Fist pretty well, you can stop Wolfbarks. You know, Wolfbark is probably better to stop with Maxi there. Vela is really coming into its own again this format, and I got offered like some money for my ultimate one, but I was like, you know what, I think it's going to come back, so I think I'll keep it. And I think it is, so let's see how that plays out. So that's something if you want, but if you have a suggestion for 2 of a card, like maybe Thunder King, stuff like that, then definitely do comment down below, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And that's the whole deck for now. This is version 2, obviously there's going to be version 5, 6, 7, 8, blah 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 blah, but that will be over time, and I don't know when that will come around, depends how I feel. And I hope to see you guys in a few days, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, Thetcglover is out.